I said, these two exhibitions were part of Unruly. There we go. And to me, there was something really similar. I know these two exhibitions look very different, different materials, different mediums, but what I saw as the through line were some things. One, where both of these artists were really looking at inner worlds, as Devanna mentioned, thinking about her chronic illnesses, but also thinking about lucid dreams and dreamscapes. And Sam also was thinking about those things when she made this work. Both of these artists are also mapping in a really interesting way. As Devanna said, she plots out on those big pieces of fabric where she's going to stitch. And for Sam, drawings, pen drawings, but then she maps out and scales for each installation. So I thought these were really interesting comparisons. I also loved the idea of moving from one installation to the next. So Sam came to BAS after I sent out a call for work, and like Devanna, I've spent about 2 years getting to know her and getting to know her work. And along with thanking Sam, I do want to thank Meredith, who is here today, who has helped us with this very ambitious installation. And then I haven't seen James, who also helped. But this was really a full team effort. And speaking of the team, I do want to introduce everybody. We have Sydney O'Shea, we have Lauren McLaughlin, Alma Correo, our fearless leader, and Adelina Metz. So we are a small team, we are ambitious, and we thank you all again for being here. So I'm going to turn it over to Sam.
Hello, everybody. We're good with the sound. Okay, all right. First, I want to say thank you so much for coming out. It always means a lot for me to see people at openings because Buffalo has been amazing to me so far. So thank you so much. And thank you to Shirley and everyone at Buffalo Art Studio. I felt really welcome and it's been a great week. This work that you see in this room is actually a part of a larger narrative that I've been working on since 2020. The original premise is that a woman, one day she wakes up one morning and she finds that she's grown this person out of her hair. And this hair person's like, this world isn't doing too great. It's not the best. We've got a pandemic going on. Everything's just messed up. Why don't you leave and go to another world that's just you and what you bring in? And so she decides, I can't do much worse. So she decides to just leave with what she has. So her nightdress, her striped socks, and her hair. And that is the rule that I have for everything that I've made in this series, that it can only be made out of materials and duplicates of materials that she brought with her. So everything in these different chapters are made from the striped socks or the hair tie, right, that she brings in. And it kind of serves as a way for me to process different things that are happening, but in this imaginary space. So in this particular installation, you see 3 murals. I have Jagun Jagun right over there, my war towers, the field of lost hair ties, which kind of wraps around the whole space, and then the mountain of rest. Jagun Jagun is based on a Yoruba masquerade mask, which was kind of worn in these processional gatherings, right, like through the village to celebrate great warriors. So Jagun Jagun means great warrior or fight war. And so I saw these masks, right, that are worn in these dance processions, and I was like, how do I make one of those in my world? And so that's what we have over here. For me, this work represents what it means to have power, right, and this ability to just shake and you just displace all these other people, right? And that is like the ultimate power here. And that's what we see a lot, right, in war. Like these big movers are making decisions and just destroying people's lives, right? So we have a stable tower and we have an unstable tower that's beginning to move and make waves. The work over here, A Field of Lost Hair Ties, this really came out in 2023. I was thinking a lot about my need to kind of consume and hoard and have more and more and more. And so this idea of, I'm always losing my hair ties, and I'm just always buying more hair ties, right? And I don't know where they go, and it's just this endless cycle of just buying more things, and I never have them when I need them. And in this story, it's kind of, you see these characters, right, discovering this infinite trove, this infinite forest, right, field of lost hair ties. And first there's this sense of awe and wonder, and then there's this instant urge to hoard as much as possible as you possibly can. So you see these characters kind of gathering all the hair ties that they can. No one needs this many hair ties, but just gotta grab all of the hair ties. And then in the last piece, the most recent piece, A Mountain of Rest, which is sort of the title of the show from the work, the text that you see behind you. In this, I was thinking a lot about rest, collective rest, dreaming as a way to kind of reimagine spaces. This work perhaps feels the most raw or to me right now because it's the newest. You see the peak or the character kind of floating off as this hair is growing out of her, and they're in some kind of intimate conversation, but she's still being held down, right, by this extra hand. So for me, it kind of just represents possibility, space, wonder, dreaming. And it's really been great for me to install in this space because usually I don't show the field of lost hair ties with the Mountain of Rest, but because space was so long, I had to combine the two. And I think it really works well to kind of like hike through the field of the hair ties, and then the field breaks and you see the mountain. So it's really exciting for me to play with and this particular iteration. So how the work actually comes together, they are ballpoint pen drawings. I do draw very big. This is a question that I get a lot. A lot of the characters are to scale, so this character over here is to scale. It's a very big drawing, but I don't draw everything together. So if you look at the Jagun towers, I draw them separately. So all the little characters were drawn separately, all the big characters were drawn separately, and then I scan them digitally and I collage them together. And so this gives me a lot of freedom and movement to really work with the composition. It also helps me change things if I need to for a space. If I need to move someone a little to the right or a little to the left, I have a lot of flexibility there. And then I print them out on 3-foot panels, and then they are cut out and installed in the space. They are site-specific, so this particular iteration of the work will only exist like this here at Buffalo Art Studio. You may see it again, but they might not look exactly like this, so that's also a really exciting part of the work for me. So that's my spiel. I am happy to take any questions. And thank you so much again for being here and engaging with the work. I do appreciate it.
So thank you to Sam, who came all the way from Tampa. Thank you to Devana, who came from Syracuse. And thank you again to all of you who came into Buffalo Art Studio on this glorious summer night. Thank you, M&T Bank, for making this all possible. Talk to the artist, have conversations, enjoy the experience, and of course, eat the snacks. So thank you all. Good night.